Having a hardtop is awesome for extra insulation in the winter, but it's only right for Jeep owners to run their Jeep with no top on in the summer. The Lang Originals Power Hoist-A-Top is the most convenient way to remove your hardtop by yourself for your 07 to 17 JK. The winch-powered system, it makes it the safest and easiest way to get the hardtop off and keep it out of the way of the rest of the things in your garage. I would like to mention that you will need a garage that is at least 7 feet tall or more, and that you have room to park your Jeep in the garage to lift the top off. Installing is a little more involved, but I would say this is a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and I'll get into that in just a moment. This system consists of 2 major parts that bring the whole kit together. First, you have the frame that's going to hold the hardtop. The frame is made of a sturdy steel that has integrated hooks to hold the top. The hooks are rubber coated so there's no damage occurring when you hoist the top, and it even has a smart hook for the rear so it'll keep your back window closed when the top is suspended. Not to mention, this has multiple foam bumpers that don't allow the steel frame to make contact with the actual hardtop or the Freedom panels. This is especially great for JK owners who have a painted hardtop to match their factory paint. Speaking of foam bumpers, this also comes with a secondary set of large foam bumpers that will allow you to safely place the Freedom panels on top of the frame before you lift it off, as well as heavy-duty bungee cords that attach to the holes around the frame to keep everything secure. The second part of the equation is the winch that's going to be doing the hoisting. This comes with a very powerful 120-volt winch with a 30-foot long steel cable. The winch itself comes with a remote control switch to control the hoisting, and it even has an adjustable safety switch so you can enjoy some peace of mind while you're lifting your very expensive hardtop. Now, I would like to mention again that you will need a garage or a carport that is 7 feet to 25 foot tall, including space to park your Jeep for proper hoisting. This right now is the most expensive option for a hoist on our site, coming in at around $400. This is a bit pricey, but in my opinion is the best quality hoist and the most well thought out. We do have other options on the site that are a bit more budget friendly, like the Lang Crank Hoist-A-Top that requires manual hoisting for about half the price. If you don't need the winch powered system and you are okay with a crank system, Lang keeps great quality in their manual hoist, and it's a good option if you're sticking with a lower budget. This mini-built power top hoist can be had for about $100 less than this, but the only drawback with that is that the frame comes with rollers to store the top on the ground, since they don't recommend that you store your very expensive hardtop in the air. Overall, Lang Hoist-A-Top is the safest and most convenient way you can take your hardtop off of your JK. In my personal opinion, if I'm investing in a hoist, I would get a quality unit that's going to lift my very expensive hardtop off of my Jeep safely and reliably. Now, like I said, this install is a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter because this is very involved, and working with winches, especially steel cable, it can be dangerous without a professional or an experienced person. I'd say this should take you about 2 hours, and you're going to need some hand tools, a stud finder, and a drill to get everything installed properly. There are a couple parts to this install, including setting up the winch properly, choosing a good mounting location with the support bar, and putting together the frame that's going to be holding your hardtop. First, with assembling the frame, you're going to attach everything together, like the rubber bump stops and the multiple mounting points. Moving to the winch install, you're going to need to find studs to mount it on, and I recommend keeping it as close to the Jeep as possible so you can reach all the controls while manipulating the top on and off of the Jeep. If you're wall mounting the winch, mount the winch as high as possible for only ceilings under 9 foot. And if you're using a ceiling mount, I'd only recommend it for ceilings in the 9-foot range. Make sure there are no knots or other imperfections in the joist, and if imperfections are found, reinforcement will be necessary to each side of the joist. I'd recommend to become familiar with the start and stop function of the winch, and then you can open all the doors, remove all of the necessary hardware securing your hardtop to the Jeep, and position all the hooks underneath the top. When you're lifting the top for the first time, make sure it stays balanced and sits slightly lower in the rear than in the front. Balance is key to this install, but it can be changed accordingly. So if you're looking for the most convenient way to remove your hardtop on your JK, Lang has you covered. This is Meredith with XT, and you can find this and everything else Wrangler right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.